Hi, at a recent meeting I spoke about colour management throughout the whole process, from actually capturing the shot all the way through to printing or sending out print-ready images. I waved an X-Rite colour card around and said, look, you need to be using one of these. And I thought it was only fair to actually try and demonstrate to you why, how, and some of the pitfalls with these colour cards. It might seem to you that colour management isn't really that important, but the problem arises if you're using multiple cameras or using the same object or the same model in a series of different settings and a different shoot, and you want to try and ensure that there is colour consistency throughout your process. So you can see on the screen, I'm in Lightroom at the moment, a fairly old version of Lightroom, but it makes no difference, that I've taken a fantastic sort of half headless model shot. And the reason for that, firstly and foremost, is the fact that I'm not interested at all in the model for this photograph. The thing that is of key importance is the colour checker card. You've got to make sure, particularly if you're using the colour checker passport, which is much smaller, that you get a sensible sized image of the colour card and the test card to start off with. I always try and aim for about this size, which is about 20 to 25% of the actual image sensor size, so it can pick up the colours nice and easily. I've already preset the lights, but now I want to actually make sure that all of my colours are true and accurate as photographed. You take an image into Lightroom, into Photos, into Photoshop, into Affinity, which is currently my favourite post-production program, and there are all sorts of camera calibration settings. And you can see, for example, in Lightroom it says, well, it's Adobe standard and the process is 2012. What I'm actually going to do is create a very specific camera calibration for this light set. Okay, and it's very straightforward to do. First of all, I'm in Lightroom, so we'll just get the white balance checker and we'll pick one of the two greys, you can see, and that's it. What we then have to do is ask File to export this, and we'll export it to a specific location, and we'll put it into a pre-designed folder I've got that says DNG. And I'll choose that. And I'll come down all the settings and I'll say, well, actually, I want it to be as a DNG. And we'll leave it as medium size. We don't want any of the output sharpenings or anything like that on it. And we just literally hit export, and Lightroom then tells me that the export is completed. Okay. We've exported our DNG file with the colour card on it. Now I've used a free piece of software, freely available. It's available for both PC and Mac, which is the Adobe DNG Profile Editor, and it does the trick every single time. Okay, so I've shown you that. Now all we have to do is open up the image and click on File, Open DNG Image, and select our image. If we click on Chart on this free piece of software, and all we then do is reposition these four colours, if you want to call black and white a colour, let's not go into that discussion, onto the respective corners of the card. Come back here, create a colour table, and it comes back and says colour table created successfully or built successfully, and you end up with this sort of histogram pie chart with the colours and the corrected colours all the way through. Now what we have to do here is export the Nikon D800 profile, and we'll put it into your camera profiles. And you can see that the recipe was successfully exported. Now, I have to say at this stage, you think, great, wonderful, great, let's go straight back into Lightroom and start playing with the colour calibration. No. Lightroom loads the colour profiles only when it opens. So what you actually have to do is close Lightroom down and then restart it. If I come down to the profile, you can see that the profile that we saved as a Nikon D800 untitled recipe is now available as a profile for us to use. All you have to do is go ahead and click on that. Now watch the screen carefully, and you've noticed how those colours have just subtly changed. I'll do that again. Very subtle, not very much in there, you might think. The changes on the colour cards will vary depending on the light that you're working with. So if you're under old-fashioned sodium street lights, you will see quite a significant change here, or tungsten lights. You will see quite a big shift in the colour values. Okay, so we've got our colour profile selected. Now all we actually have to do is come to another image. Here is our image. Oh, sorry, I beg your pardon. Let me just show you this. So you can see that the actual temperature has been selected at 5,150 Kelvin. Now we go back to our other images that we're going to use, and you can see that if we can either type it straight in if we're using Lightroom, or what we can do is just say we'll copy that image, and what we actually want to do is take the process calibration, okay, and the lens corrections, just like that, along with the white balance. We say copy that and come into our other image, and we just say paste the settings, and you can see that again our Nikon D800 recipe's been applied. You notice a slight change on the overall white balance management as well. And that's as simple as that.